All right, I'll do the intro and then I'll talk to you.
Just a second, Johnny.
1 minute chair.
Beautiful.
Places, please.
Where's Johnny?
Dave, he isn't in here. He's not here. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Hello everybody and welcome to Family Business, your practical guide to raising kids in the 90s. I'm your host, Jeff Probst. On today's show, so you have a son or a daughter who wants to be a star. Yes, it happens all the time. We have one young actor in the making. We're going to talk to him about commercials and auditions. We're going to talk to Mom about getting him to auditions, what it costs, the sacrifices, what are the benefits. We also have a group of parents sitting in our dining room that are going to talk about something that happens a little later, which is teens and drinking. But first, let me introduce you to the expert of our show, Dr. Linda Freeman, child psychiatrist on the faculty of Columbia University and a mother of a 2-year-old herself. And we're going to get started today, as we always do, talking about milestones.
That's right, those
the
stepping
first
stones on the way to a child's independence.
Very important. First date, first kiss, first...
Graduation from high school.
Notice how I was theming in on something, date and kiss. And of course, with us today, Marguerite Barta and Adam. And what we're going to talk about today, Adam is 16. Take a guess what we're talking about. First time you hand the car keys over. By the way, congratulations to getting your driver's license. Very good thing.
Thank you very much.
We've all been there. It's an exciting moment.
Thank you.
Mom, how are you surviving? This is a big thing when you finally hand those puppies over.
I'm okay. Nervous all the time that he gets in the car.
What are you
All the
nervous
time.
about?
Just giving him the keys and letting him drive away.
Worried that something's going to happen, or worried that he's just going to keep on driving?
No, something's going to
He won't
happen.
come home.
Well, we have actually, we have a little videotape of your driving test and the whole thing. Let's just give us an idea of what this is about. Take a look at this. This is Adam.
Just don't be nervous.
Good morning.
Oh, God.
So what are you thinking right here, Adam? The music's happy, Mom's worried, but you're thinking, I'm home free.
Absolutely terrified here.
He's terrified.
What was the worst part of the, is it parallel parking the toughest?
The parallel parking is very hard. Yes, when you have to back out of the space, and I thought I was getting stuck in a spot, and I thought I was gonna fail, and I was like, oh no. But the teacher was very helpful. You know, he guided me through it.
Poor Mom, look at her.
I know, I said, what were you timing it?
Yeah, they were taking a long time.
Were you secretly
gone a long
hoping that he
time.
might not pass?
No,
Of course not.
Not at all.
Oh,
All right,
the thumbs
the
up.
phone. You gonna be careful?
You're gonna be careful. Yeah, sure, Mom. I'm gonna drive like 80. Get out of my way. I'm a man with a mission and I have the keys.
Hey,
6 guys waiting around the corner to be picked up. Where is the, that's nice. Thanks for letting us hang out with you on that day. Where's the first place you drove to?
I drove my mother to dinner for being so gracious about the whole thing.
We gotta give him another hand. Yeah. That's amazing.
What a sweetheart.
Where does this rank, Linda, as far as first milestones?
Oh, I think it's pretty far up there. Because parents, I can't imagine not having anxiety about all the kinds of things that can happen out on the road. But you know, even when you've got the anxiety, there's not much you can do to stop it. So the best thing to do is help your child prepare. Get them some good driving instruction.
Did you set any ground rules? Do you guys have any agreements about what can and cannot happen when he's driving?
He knows he can't stay out after a certain time. And when it's a bunch of friends, I'd rather him not drive.
What about
Let
finances?
a parent drive.
Yes.
When he's going to go to work, yeah, he's going to split
She
everything
wants me to
down
get
the
a
middle.
job.
Get a summer job? Does
Yeah.
that seem like a fair trade to you?
Well, I mean, it's fair, yeah. She's letting me drive and have the car, and it's only fair I pay for insurance and, you know, work.
It's great, and you discussed all this beforehand, so it was no big surprise to anybody. That's a
Right.
very good policy.
This also takes on a little added significance. I think it's worth noting that your father and your husband just recently passed away. And this was a big thing, the connection with you and your dad, because he was teaching you how to drive.
Yes, he went out teaching me. When I first went out, I was so nervous, you know. He said, you know, just be lucky you have the opportunity to drive and have someone to take you driving. And, you know, when he passed away, I kind of figured to myself, I'm going to set this goal for myself, that I am going to pass my test for him and do it for him. And I didn't. I know, you know, he's up there watching me, and he gave me the thumbs up.
Terrific.
Great.
Well, that must make you feel a little good knowing that, because he sounds responsible just listening to Adam
His
talk.
father had 100% faith in him. Yeah.
Will this get, typically, is this what Marguerite's going through? Is this normal? Parents and you combine the two things? that she's feeling a lot of fear and...
Oh, sure. And, you know, and of course all the nostalgia about the fact that your dad could help you out like that.
Here's a Kleenex.
You know, a lot of parents, though, really don't have all the heart that apparently your dad had to take a child out on the road and
Yeah,
deal
was
with
his
all
job.
that anxiety, I'm telling you. So there's always, you know, the professional teacher or even a good trusted friend that can help you out.
Right.
So it's a good idea to talk about this in advance because, like you say, it may be scary for parents, but it's not going away. When you hit
Nope,
16,
there it is.
that's a right that you
Look
want
at
to
his face.
explore.
I can't wait.
Go if you have a mom or dad that wants to help you, great. If you can't, get a professional. Go to the driving school or
And
take it in class.
very, very important, remember, don't drink and drive, and don't get in a car with somebody that's been drinking.
Speaking of which, a little later we're going to be talking, as we talked at the top of the show, about teens and drinking. You're reaching that age where I'm sure that peer pressure is becoming a problem. Marguerite, if you'd like, we'd like to have you come over and join us.
Right.
We have some other parents that talk about that. Guys, glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Hope everything is going all right. And Adam, thanks for letting us tag along.
Pleasure.
Up next, want to be in commercials? Well, we have a youngster who not only wants to be, he is. We'll talk about everything that goes with it right after this on Family Business.
And now, stupid parent trick number 92, the old I've got Batman eyes trick. Extend hands outward, palms down, fingers spread. Make the A-OK sign with both hands. Bring both hands to face. Pivot hands upward, encircle eyes, and make a menacing face. Now, take a bow.
Welcome back to Family Business. Moving into the rec room of the FX apartment to talk about pursuing the dream of wanting to be an actor when you're a young child. With us is Carrie LaBeouf and her son Josh, 10, the actor. Josh, give us an idea. We have some videotape of you going out and doing it, but before we get to that, how long have you been pursuing this? You're 10 now.
Yeah, well, it's been about going on 5 years now.
Yeah, how's it going so far?
Well, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I've gotten a lot of experience out of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, shall we take a little look at what it is, a day in the life? This is sort of a day in the life, some auditions
Yeah.
that Josh went on. Take a look.
I must get at least 10 phone calls a day from parents wanting to know how to get their kids into the business. Everybody wants their kids in show business. You know, they see children on television, they want the fame, they want all this wonderful stuff that goes along with it. A parent has to be very dedicated.
Josh had expressed that he wanted to do this at a very young age.
I had a dream, and it kept building up that I was going to be an actor, and how much fun it would be to be on TV and go to school and have everyone say, "Oh, Josh, you were great on that commercial." Where you been? The zone. Discovery Zone? Yeah, Discovery Zone. Once you're in the zone, it'll blow. You're blow. This is Phil Donahue. I was on his show twice, which was pretty neat.
He's experiencing stuff that I know he would never have experienced if he didn't do this.
Hi, my name is Josh LaBeouf. This is me with my glasses and without my glasses.
He knows how to greet people, he knows how to interview, he knows how to sell himself. This is like his after-school activity. We got to get going because we're never making 3 today. Just gonna fix your shirt.
All right, that's everything.
2:30. Not a good time to be going to the city. How you doing on that homework?
Okay.
A little rushed today, pal. This is bad. Can I get in the toll lane now?
Oh, gone.
No, isn't that better? When he has more than one in a day, it's tense because you want to get him there. It's that time clock that's ticking away, and it's frustrating because you could be sitting in city traffic and he could miss it.
When I go in an audition, I'm never nervous. I don't worry about if I got it or I didn't get it because I go in there open-minded and I leave open-minded. I like acting. I get to be different characters. What do you want to do tomorrow? I don't know. What do you want to do? Shh, shh. Mom's hearing.
There's a zillion kids in the business, and very few make it. There's no guarantees in this business, and there are no promises. You can go on one audition and get a job, you can go on 100.
It's a lot of hard work. It doesn't have rewards for me, but it has a lot of rewards for Josh, and as his mother, I guess that's the real plus.
Boy, maybe the truest word spoke. There's a zillion kids. You could go on one audition and get a job, or you could go on 100. How is this for you, Mom? Is this something you're supporting right from the beginning?
Yeah, well, you know, we're very supportive. I think the kids have to have a parent that's very supportive because it's very time-consuming, and you have to be able to juggle their schedule. You want him still to go to his sports, and you want him still to go to Boy Scouts, and you still want him to make the birthday parties. So in wanting to do all that for him, it makes it very tense for me because, like, I could know, like, he has a birthday party and we're, like, stuck in traffic on the way home or something, and he's not aware of the time, and I'm going, don't talk, you know, I gotta get, you're gonna have the party and we're gonna be late, you know, so.
How important, Linda, is maintaining a balance?
Oh, I think very, because as the statement was made, about a zillion try and a few make it. So you've always got to have the other activities going on in schoolwork so that you've got something to fall back on.
It looked like you were pretty busy that day. If that's anywhere near typical, what do you do about school and homework?
Well, usually every single day I get picked up 2:30, sometimes earlier. But I take my work, my teacher gives it to me early, and I go in the car and I do it, and just like anybody else, I give it to him the next day.
So do you feel pressure?
No, I really don't. I feel kind of just happy to be there. I don't feel anything but just pure happiness that I'm there. And
I think Mom feels the pressure.
I don't think he's ever aware, ever, of, like, even just, you know, like, even like the night before he's shooting something. You know, people sometimes, like, he could be shooting, he could be, like, up in Connecticut. If I think it's too early, his call time, last minute I'll say, come on, we're going to sleep over and we'll just go to a hotel and stay over, because, I mean, you know, now he's 10, but we still do that. He's working 10 hours, and if he's shooting in Connecticut, or if he's shooting, I mean, we've gone to Canada, we've gone to Italy, I mean, if he's shooting and we're far away, to me, he needs his night's rest before. So I'm like, you know, the night before, I'm always going, go to bed, you got to shoot tomorrow, go to bed, you know. But he doesn't, he's not aware. He's not. I am.
Yeah, but you're not really a stage mom, it sounds like. You're really one that really is following his lead, as opposed to putting your ego into it and pushing him.
No, because as I believe, if a mother were to push the child into it, it would just bounce back and it would never be anything.
Something you really have to watch, though, isn't it, is who is this really for?
Oh, yeah, because, you know, because just imagine, you know, the thrill of victory, but, you know, the pain of defeat. So if the child's not really into it, I don't think the parent can push too hard.
What, just one bit of advice, quick bit of advice, Carrie, for moms who, or dads who might be thinking about this?
Think twice. It's very, Josh has been very fortunate, but there are a lot of children out there that don't work, and I would think twice before I would do it. And unless they really had this burning desire, don't pursue it.
Josh, we're about out of time here. Can you just do that? It was so neat, you with glasses and you with, can we just see that look? Maybe just right over here, Mike Moore? Yeah.
All right, this is me. With my glasses and without my glasses.
I see. We'll take you without, just fine. Guys, thanks very much. Continued good success for you, young man.
Thank you.
All right, up next, something not quite as lighthearted, teens and drinking. Family Business will be right back. Welcome back to Family Business. Jeff Probst with Dr. Linda Freeman. Well, according to national statistics, kids and drinking, they begin as young as 12 these days experimenting, and 92% of all seniors have tried alcohol. How do you deal with that and the peer pressure? We've assembled some parents here, to talk about it. Glenn Abel has 2 sons, 14 and 11. Correct. Debbie Monroe, 3 sons, 19, 16, and 13. And Ann Chelius, you win the prize, 5 kids, 15 to 25. And also Marguerite, whose son Josh, we met the both of you earlier talking about.
Adam. Son Adam.
Sorry, Adam. Sorry, Josh. You turn 16, you get a different name. Okay, Adam, talking about getting the license, he's getting close to that age. Let's just take a poll. How many of the parents here think, suspect, or know that their kids are drinking or experimenting?
I know.
Everybody here.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a wise group, because I think that's what parents really have to understand. Even by 4th grade, most kids have been pressured to try drinking, and as you said, most of them will experiment.
Glenn, tell us about your situation. How do you, is there a family policy on?
Well, I beat the statistics because at 10 my son was allowed to drink. I'm
allowed to drink?
Allowed, but not to drink in volume, but to taste.
Oh, to taste,
To learn,
okay.
to develop. The policy is educational, is to try to develop an understanding of what drinking is, what's available, and also moderation. Not that he is thrust out into an environment at some arbitrary age, whether it be 12 or 15 or 18, legally at 18, I guess, and not know what it's about.
Is this the forbidden fruit thing, that if I tell them they can't do
in
it?
a way, yes,
Right.
exactly.
Debbie, what's your thoughts on the whole idea, your kids?
I think as parents, it's really important to have mom and dad agree on whatever policies are set.
United front.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you need to do is reflect on your own experiences when you were that age. You'd be a fool to think that they weren't going to be drinking at all. And basically, what we've told our boys is that we don't want them doing it, but that we're not stupid, and we know that they're going to be experimenting. It's the consistency is what's so important.
Well, and you have a situation with your kids being far enough apart in age that you now actually have sort of a role model in one of your sons.
That's correct.
Is it the 18-year-old or the 25-year-old?
The 25-year-old.
Found out that one of your younger kids was...
Yes, my situation is my 15-year-old, who was only a freshman in high school, has been invited to parties of his older brother, who's a senior in high school, and there is definitely drinking going on. And his older brother, who was 25, got reports back that his younger brother was not only drinking, but was drinking to excess.
So he
took him out to dinner one night, and they had a little chat.
Tete-a-tete.
And apparently it has helped immeasurably.
That's fantastic, you know, because I think the reality is that it's a really peer pressure that gets kids to drink. What happens in the family is one thing, but it's when they get out there that these things come up. And so to have somebody like a peer and a sibling to be able to help you deal with it and think about how to cope with peer pressure to drink is very important.
Marguerite, oh, I'm sorry, I just wanted to sneak your point of view because...
I'm totally against it. No alcohol in my house at all.
And Adam's reaching that crisis age where peer pressure is going to be a big threat for him. Do you guys talk about...
He knows to come to me if he ever wants to try it, but he knows how I feel, that I'm totally against it.
When he comes to you, what, you'd offer him some to try? Or?
No, if his friends put him in that point where they want him to try it, he knows to come to me to tell me
Marguerite,
that they wanted me to try it.
don't you think maybe you should start talking to him about it before he hits that point? He might not be able to get away to come talk to you under the pressure.
We've discussed it. We've discussed it. He knows how I feel. I'm totally against it.
Who here of the parents drink? How many of you guys drink?
I do.
I do.
Is there a correlation between parents who drink and kids that are going to drink?
Yes and no. I mean, what's interesting is that there's a much higher rate of drinking in teetotaling families in their young people than you would expect. But also, obviously, there's a correlation when you get to alcoholism, in that children of alcoholics have a much higher rate of alcoholism. There's no question about that.
It's very similar to the sex argument, that if you talk about condoms and they're going to have sex, is there any fear with Glenn saying at 10 years old, you know, if I'm going to have a little bit of wine, you can try my wine?
I mean, tasting a glass of wine, whether that be at home, at church, in a family ritual, or a religious ceremony, I mean, that's something that I think children can very well learn to cope with. And it may help them in the long run when it comes to the excessive drinking or drinking when they don't really think that's what they want to do under the peer circumstance of pressure.
Debbie, you have a policy where is it in your city?
In our town, that if the parents go out, they can go to the police station and sign a paper that if there is any partying going on, the police are allowed to go into your home to break up the
So if there's a
party.
little risky business action going on, the cops can welcome themselves.
I think it helps. A lot of people shy away from it, but the kids generally know, oh, I wonder if they signed that paper. But drinking per se, you can teach your child about peer pressure, but at a very early age. I mean, even I have to have a backpack like Johnny's, you know.
Sure.
I've always been one to say, you know, if everybody was the same, life would be so boring. You don't have to have this. You can hold a can of beer in your hand all night long and take sips. No one's going to be sitting there counting how many beers you have.
I'm really
Especially
glad
after
you
about
said
an hour.
that,
Yeah.
you know, because I think that's so important for a child to figure out how to handle those social circumstances when they don't want to look like a dork, but they don't want to indulge.
And don't drive, of
What-
course, but...
What about punishment? Does that play a part if you find out that your kid comes, he does call you and says, look, I had a couple of beers, what happens?
I think he suffers the most. Why
Yes.
punish?
Yes. Yeah.
So the next morning will be enough to...
I think so, don't you?
Yeah. You hope they get sick, not too sick, but that's generally the...
Just
the
quickly
best
as we
lesson.
wrap this up, does it ever come up that, hey, alcohol is illegal? You know, when you're 14, you can't
absolutely.
drink?
Yes.
Or is peer pressure, you give me a wink there, like peer pressure
I haven't gotten to
obliterates
that point
that.
yet. No, if you develop a trust with your child and communicate with them, I think that they understand where you're coming from. It's based on love and development. It's
And I
not
was
based
going
on...
to say, Jeff, you know, the illegal part, that means that maybe some outside structure is going to really help you rein them in. And I think what parents have to do is really work with your child, talk to them early, and help them get those internal mechanisms together so that they can be careful
Much
about
like
themselves.
Marguerite with getting the license, it's going to happen, chances are. So set up, and it sounds like you guys have done a good
rite
deal
of
of
passage.
at least letting them know that the kids can call home if they need to or whatever. Thanks, you guys, for taking the time. Marguerite, thanks for helping us again.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Be right back after this.
And now it's time for Old Wives' Tale number 12. Today, his bite is worse than his bark. Hey parents, when you were kids, did your mom ever tell you, don't worry, barking dogs don't bite? Wrong, says the SPCA. Barking dogs can and do bite, both before and after they bark.
Welcome back to Family Business. Well, we call this a practical guide to raising your kids in the 90s, so we thought we'd help you out and see if you know what it is your kids are talking about. Josh is going to help us. We have some slang terms, parents. So Josh is going to give the word, and then you just shout out if you think you know what it means. Adam, you can't say anything because you will know. It's the practical guide to slang in the 90s. Josh, give us the first word.
No diggity.
No kidding.
No kidding?
Yeah.
What is it, Linda?
Of course, it's of course.
Of course, no diggity. Come on. All right, second word.
Parlaying.
Plan.
Fooling around.
Grouping, fooling around. So like just
something up.
we're out parlaying.
Yeah.
Mom, don't worry about it. What is it, Linda?
It's sort of like chilling, relaxing.
Oh, so you're
Good.
there. Parlaying is cooler than. Hang on. All right, Josh, give us the next one.
Audi 5000. G.
It's a car.
Glenn, you're liberal. Car. All right. What is it, Linda?
Hey, I'm leaving, friend.
I'm out of here. We're Audi 5000G. So long, everybody. We'll have a more family business next time. Thanks, everybody, for all your help today. Great.
You're welcome.